Hey Nash, what should we make?
Well, since you've upgraded your recipe, and because your old sriracha video was pretty awful, mostly because I wasn't in it, let's make your upgraded sriracha, or Sriracha 2.0.
All right, let's make the upgraded version of our Chaos Sriracha. Welcome back to Chaos Kitchen, where we like to make stuff, but sometimes we figure out how to make that stuff better, and we're not afraid to admit that we can make our own stuff better, and we want to share that with you. So today, we are going to make our Chaos Kitchen Sriracha. We made a Sriracha video a long time ago. I think it was one of the first handful of videos we even made. I recently rewatched it, and for those of you who have sat through the whole thing, I love you because it was absolutely horrible. Now that being said, the recipe was good. However, like any good chef, if you have a good recipe that you make fairly often, you're gonna tweak the recipe as you go. So watching that video, seeing how bad it was, I decided, hey, let's do it again for all of you to show you not only some of the tweaks I've made, but also give you a better video to watch if you wanna learn how to make sriracha. If you really wanna watch the horrible video of me, I will link it down below because I'm not opposed to self-deprecation. All that being said, without further ado, let's go. So we start with a bunch of peppers. Technically, we want red peppers. The OG version of sriracha was made with Thai spur chilies. Not sure what those are. Never seen one. But the Hui Fong, you know, the bottle with the rooster on it that we're all familiar with, they had a shortage because of peppers in the last few years, and I know they changed some things. They changed maybe their pepper distributors. I'm not sure if they've changed their actual recipe or the kind of peppers they use, but before that all happened, the sriracha that we all grew up knowing and loving, or came to know and love, was made with red jalapenos. These are red Fresnos because that's what I could find. Now keep in mind, the red pepper of jalapeno or Fresno or Serrano is just a more ripe version of the green. So they're the same pepper, red just is more ripe. So the heat doesn't really change. It certainly doesn't lessen, but what you get is when they get more ripe, when they get red, they get a little bit more of a fruitier flavor, a little bit more of a floral flavor, a little bit more sweetness. So you get more flavor with your heat. But now look, I've tried this a bunch of different ways. You want about 2 pounds of red peppers. Now, red, because sriracha is supposed to be red. That's what we know, right? That being said, if you like the flavor of the greens, you could make the same recipe with the greens and it would work. It just wouldn't look as pretty. So, I don't know, just keep that in mind. Now you want 2 pounds of peppers. Today we're doing 2 pounds of Fresnos. Fresnos are slightly spicier than jalapenos, which is the ones that the Hui Fong company uses. But I believe that Fresnos have a little bit more flavor, a little bit more fruitiness, a little bit more floralness. So I think they're a little bit better, so that's what we're doing. But I've done this a bunch of different ways with all Fresnos, all jalapenos, Fresnos with some habaneros, and then I've done some crazy shit with, you know, some Fresnos and some scorpions, some Fresnos and some Carolina Reapers, some Fresnos and some ghosts. It's whatever you want, you know? Try it one way and then try making some tweaks and just see what you like and see what your friends like. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the tops off of these and then we're gonna throw them into a blender bottle. And now because my biggest blender bottle is kind of small, this is only about half of our peppers. But we're gonna put all of the ingredients into this as if it was all the peppers, and then I'm gonna blend the other half, and then we're gonna combine them at the end when we're ready to start fermenting. So keep that in mind, but it doesn't really matter. So let's just pretend this is all the peppers. If you have a full-size blender, probably a better application for this particular recipe. So to our peppers, we add about 6 large garlic cloves. If they're smaller, then maybe up to a dozen. Or if you just love garlic, then just add more. Again, this recipe is like literally a guideline. Then we're gonna throw in a good pinch of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a tablespoon of white sugar, a little bit of water, and that's pretty much it for the base recipe. But let's add a few extra things. So I'm gonna do a little bit of minced ginger, a little bit of honey. It's not really necessarily gonna make it a ton sweeter. What it's gonna do is it's gonna give more food to the lactobacillus, which is the bacteria that's gonna eat basically you're fueling the fermentation process with all the sugars. Then let's do just a dash of soy sauce and even a less dash of fish sauce. And again, these are just gonna add some richness, some umami flavors, about it. And then we're gonna do about a teaspoon of miso. Not a ton, just enough to give it a little bit of that extra umami punch. And we put our lid on this guy. And then we put this on the base, and then we blend until smooth. So then we take out a large mason jar, or some reasonable facsimile thereof. We pour our pepper mixture into the mason jar. Try not to leave anything behind. And then we just put a lid on this guy, and then you want to store it somewhere kind of cool and dark, like a cabinet. Like a cabinet you don't maybe use that often. The fermentation process is going to create carbon dioxide, meaning gas. So if you let it build up too much, it could potentially explode this whole bottle, or when you open it, all of it could just shoot out. And I've had that happen before with Sriracha specifically. So at least once a day, maybe twice a day, just go ahead and crack the top. And then while it's cracked, you can go ahead and stir it around maybe, give it a little taste, see where it's at, see if you like it. We want to leave this to ferment in a cabinet for 3 to 7 days. I wouldn't do any less than 3, but you could do more than 7 if you like it a little bit more funky, because that's what's going to happen as it ferments. You get more of that little kind of funk flavor. So for now, off we go. And don't forget to burp your bottle like you burp your baby. If you have a baby. I don't know. I don't have a baby, but I have a bottle. So we're going to burp that. Bye-bye.
Several days later.
So then we get out our lovely Sriracha. I told you once a day you want to burp it. There wasn't much of a psh there, but usually, you know, especially the first few days, and you can see a little bit of separation here. We're on day like 7 or 8, so that's a lot less. But it used to be where the separation was huge. It expands up to like here once a day. Once it starts to sort of stop expanding so much every day, that's when you know it's kind of ready. But then also give it a taste, because you can let it go for like 2 weeks if you want, if you like a little more funk or whatever. Just keep tasting it, because we put a lot of sugars into it. So early on it's going to taste sweet, but what does that sugar do? That sugar is the food for the lactobacillus. So the fermentation process takes that sugar, turns it into lactic acid. It changes the flavor. Take this, then we just want to stir it. So you want to do this every day. This is our last day, so we're about to finish this guy, but you know, then you just go ahead and stir it. Just mix everything up, you know, and then every day kind of give a little taste. Oh yeah, that's right where we want it to be. From here, once you're done, once you're ready, once you're happy with this product, we want to add a half a cup of vinegar. Now the traditional recipe is just a half cup of white vinegar. What I've sort of tweaked this to is doing a 1/4 cup of white vinegar and a 1/4 cup of rice wine vinegar. This is going to kill the fermentation process. You can see it's doing some things here. And the white vinegar is just, you know, very, very vinegar. The rice wine vinegar has a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of nuance, so it's just going to add a little bit more complexity to that flavor. Then we want to transfer this whole thing to a blender cup, blender bottle, whatever you got. And we put our lid on this guy. Then we put this guy into the base and we blend for quite a while, like 1 to 3 minutes. Then in a sauce pot on the stove with some sort of sieve, we go ahead and we strain our sauce. Doop, 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 doo, 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 doo. Doop, 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 doop. Make sure to make a mess. Then using some sort of a rubber spatula or something, you just want to strain this to get all the liquid into the pot and any sort of solid particulates, whatever. And you got to be patient with this process. It takes a minute, you know? And then once you've squeezed all the liquid out of this mixture and all you're left with is this sort of paste of particulates and whatnot, I guess you could save this for something like if you wanted like an ultra spicy but delicious compound butter, it might work, or you can just get rid of it. Now with your sauce all strained, you want to turn this onto high heat. Make sure and stir. Look at that nice smooth sauce.
That's what she said.
At this point, you could taste it for seasoning, see if it needs any salt or anything. Although at this point, if you follow the recipe or some variation thereof, you should be pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. We bring that up to a boil, then we lower the heat, and we let that simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes, stirring occasionally, and let this guy thicken. And once your sauce has thickened to your liking, keep in mind it's hot right now. So once it cools, it's going to be even a little thicker than now. But as long as it can coat a spoon or coat a spatula like that, then we're good. But also, you know, this is your sauce, so cook it as thick as you want. If you want it super thick, keep going. If you don't even want it this thick, then stop earlier. I don't know what else to tell you. You do you, boo. Turn off the heat, and we pull this. We pull this guy off of the stove, and then we pour it. You can either let it cool and then do this, or do this and then let it cool. But either way, pour it into some sort of vessel that's more pourable than your sort of sauce pot. And then we let this guy cool. So then we take out whatever vessel you want to put this in. Now, if you're just making this for you, just put it in like a mason jar or like an old Sriracha bottle that you have that you ran out of and you saved and washed out, whatever. Or if you're gonna make it for friends, then get some little bottles on Amazon like this. And these came with these little funnels. So then we got our Sriracha right here that we have strained and boiled and cooled off. And we just fill this guy up. Then we put a lid on this guy. Then we put some stickers on this guy, and then we're ready to go. And then we just wash, rinse, and repeat with as many bottles as you can make with the amount that you made. And there we have our upgraded chaos version of Sriracha. And it's time for a bite. Wait, is this actually a bite? I don't actually have anything to dip it in, so we're just gonna do like a small spoonful. Cheers. It's an amazing Sriracha. It's got a ton of flavor. It's spicy, but it's also got a bunch of other notes. It's got a little sweet, a little savory, a little sour, a little umami. It's really, really good. We had a good recipe a couple of years ago. We have made some tweaks. We've made some changes, and it's just gotten better and better. This is an awesome Sriracha. Everyone I've given it to loves it. It's pretty easy to make. It just, you have to, you know, obviously the ferment time. You got to give it about a week, knowing that if I make it today, which is going to take all of 10 minutes, I'm about to spend another 10 minutes a week from now, and then it'll be ready. And then I can give it to my friends and family, or serve it at a party, or just put it on your own wings, or drink the bottle like a cartoon character. Do whatever you want. Either way, highly recommend. Out of 10. That's what I think. But hey, let's see what Nash thinks. Hey bud, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Although I was just doing some research on black dog syndrome, and I didn't realize people could also be racist towards dogs. Black dogs matter too.
Well, check it out. We made the Sriracha from our upgraded recipe like you wanted. And of course, we have a dog-friendly bite just for you. Well, here you go. You do handle heat like a champ, bro. What do you think?
That's definitely got a kick, but the flavor is amazing. I could put this stuff on everything.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
Nash approves, I approve. Look, it's a great sauce. The original recipe's great. This one I think is even a little bit better. Go try it. Maybe try them both. I don't know. Do your thing, make it yours. Oh, and hey, for the record, based on the amount of bottles we were able to make and the ones that I already have promised to other people or want to send to other people, I have one bottle left. So whoever's made it to this point in the video to hear what I'm about to say and can leave the most interesting comment, I will send you my remaining bottle of Chaos Kitchen Sriracha. It could be you. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you all. Love you all. If you wouldn't mind taking a second, go like, share, subscribe, hype, hit the bell, all that good stuff. If there's anything you want me to make, you want me and Nash to taste, go ahead and drop that down in the comments. And hey, if you like this video, go check out some of our other something rather good videos somewhere over here. And just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. That's it for now, folks. Until next time, be good and peace.